Okay, so for this video I'm going to show you the internals, the disassembly and the information on this governor here. So although the transmission was made by Borg-Warner, some of these electrical parts, they weren't. And I believe they were different between different vehicle manufacturers. So pretty much all of the manufacturers use the Borg-Warner transmission. Okay? 21 out of the 22. So Ford, Fraser, Lincoln, Kaiser, Jeep, Rambler, Mercury, all sorts of cars use the same transmission. But apparently the different makes, they might have used different different solenoid. I'm not sure Borg-Warner made the solenoid. There's no information on the solenoid, so I'm assuming and it's pretty well built, so I'm assuming they made the solenoid. Whereas the for example, this switch here, it's probably made by a different company. So yeah, you see, the lockout switch was made by Cole in Boston. See, it's funny, they always used to put places, the states that they were made in. So this particular switch here, it's from Boston. Pretty good, but still not to my standards. You see, if I had made this one, I have broken down here. I'm not sure this interferes with the workings of the yeah, probably there was a connection between these 2 points here. But anyways, get into that later on. So Boston, Cole, Boston used to make that one. There's no markings on the solenoid. I'm not sure which company made the relay. Probably AC Delco or Autolite. I think it's Autolite. I'm pretty sure most of them were made by Autolite. But I mean, maybe nowadays they even have like modern companies making them. I've actually bought a. I've actually seen. I didn't buy it. I've seen a voltage regulator for my '69 Cadillac. One that's made in China. Believe it or not. But there it is. So, but anyways, this one here, this governor here, it was made by Bendix Products Division, South Bend Industries. Okay. I mean, it's pretty good. You see that this nut here, this sort of nut here, it does spin along with the gear here. But it could be better. To my standards, it's maybe 50%. Modern garbage, it's not in my scale of quality. If it was in my scale, it would be like negative infinity, negative 10 million or something like that. It's not even. I don't even consider it. This here. Great quality steel here. It's got bronze and a washer there. But the down points is plastic. I fucking hate plastic. It loses a lot of points when it fucking has plastic here. I don't like rivets. Rivets are garbage. I don't like them either. Antimony. This is not good as well. You can break it by hand. If it was thinner, you could break it by hand. A little child could break it. So they sort of compensated that on thickness. You can see that it's pretty thick. So it doesn't rust. Well, it's unrustable, but stainless steel doesn't rust either. The internals they're made of brass, so that's pretty good. But I do see some rust in there. A little bit of surface rust powder that didn't come off with the clean. Now the problem I have here is, you see these contacts here, they're onto the plastic, and you see that one of them is loose. I'm not sure it's the contact. I believe this is the contact here. It's actually, there's a piece of plastic there, so this would probably just push this metal here in. One is made of brass, the other one is like copper. Actually, it's just copper plated because it's corroded. So, you know, this is not good at all. These rivets, not good at all because, oh yeah, you see the points are actually there. Apparently this here is pushed. This pivot, this little shaft here, as it expands, see, goes up, pushes this here. Doesn't touch it though. I mean, it touches it, but it doesn't. You know, this here is all positive. Like it's attached. It's probably attached to the positive side of the battery. Whereas this whole case here, including the shaft here, they're attached to the body of the car, which is negative ground. So if it were to actually touch that there, you'd get a short circuit and it would melt this instantly. So apparently that's why they just used this rubber here, and the rubber pushes this sort of weird shaped metal here, weird shaped steel, and it would close the points here on this side. It's just really weird. You see that it's actually loose in there. It got corroded. I'm not sure how to put it back. I'm not sure if it can be put back. I'm just trying to get it out of there so I can possibly show you guys. But the other cap that I've seen, with the other solenoid, you know, it seems to be made of cast iron, and the cap is steel. But instead of these fucking little garbage things, you know, instead of these fucking little garbage things here, like the brass one is pretty good. The brass it's thick and doesn't corrode. It's great. But this one here, it's copper plated. You know, why the fuck would you use brass on one side and copper plated on the other? You know, why not just use all brass or just all copper? I hate it when they try, these manufacturers, that they're in between, you know. You either make good quality stuff or you make garbage. You know, you're making something that's halfway. You know, I really despise that, because people, the idea is they sort of have cheating in mind. You know, we're going to make this part here. It's actually going to be garbage, because, you know, all it takes is one part to break. Okay, all it takes is a little bit of corrosion or a rivet to get corroded, and, you know, all the quality parts that were put in there, they're now worthless, useless, because of the bad quality caused the problem. Right? So they're making a garbage part, and they're putting quality parts in, but the part itself is still garbage. And the idea behind that is to sort of trick people. So hopefully what I will do is I'll either just replace this cap by a quality one. Maybe I'll have to make one. Now, I'm not sure why it's so complicated, these contact points here. They sort of have a springiness to them here. I guess that's just, you know, at higher speeds, this here will be put. I don't know. There's no reason, really. I guess just so that the high speeds don't wear that out. But I mean, I don't know. It could be better for sure. That's the point. The other ones that I've seen, I have the part number for it, but it's actually like a bigger piece of steel here, and it's an actual spring, a nice, you know, thick spring there, a coil spring instead of this fucking shit here. Just trying to get it out of there. Actually, you know what? I'll just undo this screw here. See, on one side they put a screw, the other side they put a fucking rivet. So just undo that screw there. See, there's a screw right there, fucking bolt. Zoom in here. that's the little piece, the shitty piece that came out. And you can see it's corroded here in the bottom. It's still working, but you know, for how long? So eventually it's gonna break. There's a little piece that I still couldn't figure out where it goes. See? There's that there. It's like a little sort of hook there, and this one has a little hole. But apparently, you see here? Sorry. See there? That's probably where the rivet went. See, that's the head of the rivet. And it just broke off, you see? Sometimes they're not even corroded, they just break off. Because, I mean, although the head is fairly big, the actual rivet is puny. It's fucking tiny, so that's probably why it broke. I didn't break it. When I just opened it, it was like this. So there's... Apparently, underneath this brass part here, you see, this is the rivet that connected these two together. How the fuck am I gonna put it back there now? Fucking impossible. So yeah, apparently, looks like underneath there's another sort of rivet on the plastic. So maybe it went on the plastic. But you see, this is just fucking garbage. I think it went, I'm not sure, maybe it went like that. This hook here, like this. This part went on top of it like that. I really don't fucking know, guys. And I really don't like to spend time thinking about this garbage. Anyways, you know, it's gonna be hard to... I don't think I can even fix this. These caps, they're not so... I just hope that they would be easier to find. You know, distributor caps, they're still made for today by modern companies, like brand new today, for the old cars, classic cars, you know. My distributor cap for my 63 Rambo American, it's brand new, made today. So I mean, like, usually parts that are small and easy to make, they still make them today. But I mean, like, there's no companies that make an entire transmission. You know what I mean? They'll make maybe parts for transmission, seals and gaskets, but as for this, I was hoping... Oh look, there's some writing inside there. Hang on. Let's see what it says. Probably says warning. This part looks like good quality. It does have good quality parts in it, but it's garbage. Overall, it's garbage. And it's just like making a great car with a garbage engine. You know, does it matter if the other parts are good? If the car is made of stainless steel, if the car is made of whatever. If the engine is garbage, you can't use the car. The whole car is garbage. Here's another problem with these rivets. You see, look, this one is loose here. This part is loose. It's probably not supposed to be loose, but inside there it says micro switch trademark. Micro switch trademark. Freeport, Illinois, USA. So for you guys, if there's anybody out there from Micro Switch, I have a message for you. Guess what the message is, guys? Fuck you, you fucking assholes. Talk bad about the Chinese, but this part puts the Chinese to shame. This is fucking garbage. No, I'm exaggerating there a little bit. It is garbage. So I'll either find a way to replace this thing, which anyways will take a considerable amount of time, work, and frustration. I'm not exactly sure what these two, what their purpose is. Another thing that sometimes happens, guys, is, you know, these is actually, they're actually threaded onto the plastic, which means if you tighten the screw a little bit more, you know, those little threads, they're made of plastic, which is really fucking weak. Okay, so you ruin the thread. Just a little bit more, that's all it takes. You know, if it's steel, you'll turn the screw, and I mean, if you really, turn it too much, then you'll break the screw off, and you'll leave this thread in there, but you won't damage the thread. Here, you'll damage the thread, and the screw will come out. And if this was steel, I mean, you'd really have to do that on purpose in order to damage it. But here, you know, all it takes is just a little bit more that you tighten off. That you tighten up too much, you know, and it ruins the fucking plastic threads. So on the other hand, you think you know that, and okay, so I'm not going to tighten it too much, and then it's loose. Then it falls off in the middle of the street. And then you don't have overdrive, or your car breaks down, right? Some fucking disaster like that. So sometimes, like I say, you know, sometimes just a little wire, a little bolt, that's all it takes to break down the whole car. Well, not the whole car, the parts themselves break, but, you know, you're stranded. You have to get the tow truck because of a still silly little fucking wire, or silly little fucking bolt. Okay, but I'm talking too much. So yeah, there's a rivet here, and I'm thinking that's the other side to this rivet here. See, this would go underneath it like that, or maybe this one would go onto the rivet. There's a rivet directly underneath this one here on the plastic down there. There's another sort of rivet looking thing there. Just tighten off this bolt. I wonder if it goes out, comes out through the other side. Ah. Okay, I see. Okay, this is interesting. This bolt here, or this screw, bolt, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it actually protrudes through to this side, so that it's not touching this here. You won't be able to see it, but let's see, right underneath there. There, you see, I'm touching right there. This bolt protrudes through here. So if I were to tighten it all the way down, it's actually touching. Now it's actually touching this brass terminal or point here, whatever. So the bolt now is actually touching this here. If I try to push it down, it won't go down anymore. See? Now, still, I don't know. Still doesn't solve this problem here of this fucking rivet here. You know what? I'm going to try to put this in, hold it in place, then tighten it with the bolt, at least to see if it makes any sense. Tighten it up even a little more. Maybe it sticks out, then I can look at it. Now it's actually sticking out now, you see? See the brass there, it's sticking out now. Put my finger behind it, you can really see it then. Okay, so it seems, let's see if you guys will be able to see this there. It seems that right there, there's actually sort of like a cup-shaped part, which I would imagine would fit, that this would fit into. Let's see if that's the case. Undo this bolt. Still, this is fucking garbage. You shouldn't have to be a surgeon in order to fix these things. And you see, they're fucking weak, anyways. So. I don't know. Now the other screw here, the other bolt, this one, it also protrudes through the other side, and it would hit this side, the end here of the brass terminal. I don't know if you can see the hole there. I don't think so. Putting this little hole here, see that it goes on top of this here, like that. But yeah, this does seem to make sense. How does this go? This goes on top of it like that. I don't know, this maybe you have to put this one in first, then the other one. Yeah, looks like that's the case. Let's see. If I put this one in first. Fuck, sorry. So I put that sticking piece of steel in there. I'll show you there. Let's see. I'm not sure it's like that. I don't know why so many parts. To me, this is just supposed to be a simple, contacts. A simple contact set of points that contact. It's a simple set of contact points. I don't know why this huge complication. The other, like I said, the other cap that I saw, it was a lot simpler and a lot more sturdy. A lot sturdier. Oh, you see that I put that piece is going underneath. It's going in between. You see, between here. See, there's a hole there. This piece here, it's still loose. I'll just tighten it up. See if that makes sense. It does seem to make sense. It does seem like it fits properly. still, how does this work? If these two in the middle here, they're touching anyways, then see here on top, this metal tab here, it just serves to connect. Remember, the bolt here, this bolt that goes here on the case, it attaches to the case. This case here, which is attached to the car. So this case here, it's getting negative ground. So this tab here just serves to send negative ground to this rivet here, and this rivet here is attached to this entire metal tab, this brass tab here. So at any rate, this brass tab here should be negative. Should be getting negative power from the battery. But if this screw here, if this bolt here is actually pushing it together to this here, then everything's already negative, and doing this here won't change a thing. In principle, one of these is supposed to be positive, which should be this one here. I don't know if any wires go on to this here. When I got it, there was just what seemed to be a bunch of junk, but I mean, it could possibly be sort of like a resin. So maybe, I'm not sure, maybe they just put these bolts in, adjust them, tighten them up to where they're supposed to be, and put the resin so that they're no longer adjustable. I'm not sure, but maybe there was a wire coming from here. I'm not sure. I know there was for sure a wire here. So you can see this little rectangular tab here. That's where the wire would connect to. So definitely this brass piece is supposed to be separated from this copper piece. They should only be together once this is pushed upwards, which on the video is downwards because I'm holding this cap upside down. What pushes this here up and down is the weights on the pardon me. The weights on here. That there pushes this here up and down. And this little black thing, it's made of durable material, but it's also isolation. So yeah, this here should be positive. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made this of, hard rubber. Guessing that if they were sitting right in the middle like that, yeah, you see, that's the fucking problem. When it's sitting right in the correct place like that, there's only a little bit of clearance between these parts here, but still clearance nonetheless so that they're not connected. But since the rivet there that I showed you is just moving from side to side, you see, then they're touching. But I can just replace this rivet here by a